Okay, good morning, students. Uh, Let us discuss a few extra questions of the third poem today. Kashish, roll number.
Yes, ma'am.
Kashish, can you answer this question? What is the exotic moment Pablo Neruda, the poet, wishes for? Please answer this question.
Ma'am,
What
ma'am,
is
the exotic movement when there will be no rush and everything will be quiet and still and there will be sudden strangeness. Everybody will be together and there will be no engines moving here and there would be the exotic movement about which the poet is talking.
okay? And why would there be? Why does he call it sudden strangeness? You can mute yourself. I will ask somebody else. Why does he call it sudden strangeness? Yes. Parth Sharma, can you answer? Why does he call it sudden strangeness? Why does he call that moment sudden strangeness? Why does he call it a strange moment? Parth, Parth Sharma, we are waiting
Ma'am,
for you to speak. Yes.
ma'am, maybe it was because of the woman's behavior.
Which woman's behavior?
The woman talking about.
Which woman are we talking about, Parth Sharma? Can you just elaborate? Which woman are we talking about? Which poem are we doing? And I believe that you have been attending the classes regularly. Which poem are we talking about here?
No, ma'am, last one I have not attended
So
that.
you should at least know that we are doing keeping quiet, extra question answers of the third poem, and I'd put it in your group also that we would be discussing the extra question answers of this poem. So please be careful in the class and be attentive. Even if you have not attended the
Okay,
class,
ma'am.
I had put this YouTube presentation in your group. You should have gone through it. That was your homework, and as it is, you didn't have any homework this weekend. It was just a revision of last lesson, and already the questions that were there, they were the solved ones. Only the solved question answers you had to do. So you should have at least, you had plenty of time, you should have at least gone through the poem, Keeping Quiet. And the entire elaborate explanation of the poem, I had posted it on YouTube. Yes, Gurkamal.
Okay, ma'am.
Gurkamal, please answer. Why does he call it a strange moment? Why sudden strangeness? Yes, Khushpreet. Khushpreet, answer. Khushpreet, I've asked you to unmute. Please answer. Khushpreet.
It would be a strange one because this had not happened before and it
Yes.
is united together.
It would be a strange moment because this thing is something new. This thing has not happened before, so it would be a novel, a new moment. So why is Pablo Neruda against total inactivity? Why is he against total inactivity? Ankita Sharma, answer. Why is he against total inactivity? Yes. Why is he against total inactivity? Ankita. Hurry up! You people are wasting a lot of your time and my time also. We have to start with a new chapter today. So why is he saying that we should not be totally inactive? What is he advocating? Is it total inactivity or something else? Three participants have raised their hands. Let me ask those who have raised their hands. Yes. Yes, Vishwajit. Vishwajit, answer.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so basically, they mean by being inactive means that not working at all. So he is against it that it's not like that you should not work at all. Like you should just sit free and you should avoid all the work. But he says that you should stop your movement of your arms because whenever they have moved their arms, they have caused harm to others. So he is talking about that inactivity, not about the inactivity of not doing anything.
Yes, very good. See, there is one child, Oppo A5s, and that child is in the waiting room, but I'm not allowing that child. जो भी है, आपके a question. According to the poet, what lesson can human beings learn from nature? What is it that we learn from nature? Yes, Guntas. Guntas, can you answer? What is it that we learn from nature? Guntas, hurry up.
I don't know the answer to it.
Should know, because you people don't revise anything. What is the point of having such online classes then? We keep on sending you YouTube links also after the class, and still you people don't revise. Malvika, where is Malvika gone? Malvika, please answer. Yes, Malvika, what is it that
Ma'am,
we can...
the poet says that the earth teaches us the lesson that everything that seems dead at a time, after some time it proves to be alive. Just like in the winter season, everything is dormant.
Yes, but later on, with the oncoming of the spring season, everything,
yes, ma'am.
we can see the bustling life. Okay, so let's move on. This is all about this chapter. I'll be sending you certain extra questions. This is the chapter, the rat trap. Okay, and this has been written by Salma Legeloff. Was born in the year 1858 and died in the year 1940. Okay, and the author was a Swedish writer whose stories have been translated into many languages. A universal theme runs through all of them: a belief that the essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through understanding and love. So what the author believes is that if each and everybody is good, and if you fall into bad ways, then that essential goodness, it can be reawakened through understanding, through kindness, and through love. So this is the theme that runs through all of his works, all of his stories. This story is set amidst the mines of Sweden, rich in iron ore, which figure large in the history and legends of that country. The story is told somewhat in the manner of a fairy tale. So this story, when you will go through this story, you will see that this story is, it carries a philosophical idea, and it is also entertaining. So we'll start with this chapter, and while we read this chapter, you will notice the expressions that you would come across in the chapter, and you have to infer their meanings from the context. Number one is keep body and soul together. Then is hunger gleamed in his eyes. Then is plods along the road. Then is unwanted joy. Then is impenetrable prison. Nodded a haughty consent. Okay, eased his way. Fallen into a line of thought. And similarly, we have more expressions also that you would come across, and you need to tell me their meanings through the context. Okay, let us discuss the next page. Where is the next screenshot? Screenshot. This call bhaiya. Ask him to put the screenshots all here. When there, I can see only the first screenshot. Where is the next screenshot? एक ही स्क्रीनशॉट है बाकी स्क्रीन ही तो है. And who is a peddler? A peddler is a wanderer who roams around here and there, and in search of a living, in search of place where he can find shelter and things like that. So we start with the chapter. It says, once upon a time, there was the author is telling this story in the form of a fairy tale. So it says, once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling small rat traps of wire. He made them himself. What is a rat trap? Can anyone just tell me what a rat trap is? What's a rat trap? There are two participants who raised their hands. So I'll see. I will have to. Yes, Malvika. What's a rat trap?
Ma'am, a rat trap is a thing that is used to trap the rats.
And how does it trap the rats?
Ma'am, by means the person gives put something like eat to eat in this, like cheese or something like that, and then the rat sees the thing and comes in the rat trap and it gets trapped.
Yes, very good. So whenever the rat sees, it is tempted towards that trap because it sees, bread or cheese or something like that. And then the moment the rat touches that trap, the trap closes onto him. So this is has been used as a metaphor also. Rat trap has been used as a metaphor also, and that you would realize once we read on the poem. So there was this person who used to sell small rat traps of wire. He made them himself at odd moments from the material he got by begging in the stores or at the big farms. But even so, the business was not especially profitable, so he had to resort to both begging and petty thievery to keep body and soul together. What do you mean by this term, resort to? What is this resort to? The author says he had to resort to. Yes, anyone? Anyone, please raise your hands, because if I stop sharing, then I will have to find it again. And it takes a lot of effort to find where I've saved these. Yes, Gurnur. Gurnur, what is resorting to? Speak up, Gurnur. Gurnur. Yes. Resort to means?
Ma'am, to turn.
Yes, to turn to something. So he would have to turn to whenever, in order to keep his body and soul together. What is keeping his body and soul together? In order to just keep existing. It was so difficult for him to survive that sometimes he had to turn to both begging and petty thievery. What is petty thievery? Something which is of not, very small, something which is trivial, something which is not very, very significant. So sometimes he had to even steal in order to just keep his body and soul together, in order to survive, because his business was not, flourishing well. It was not going on well. His business was only to make small rat traps of wire and to sell them. Even so, his clothes were in rags. So he was so poor, he used to wear torn out clothes. His cheeks were sunken and hunger gleamed in his eyes. So you could see, and have you, you must have read about this earlier also. In which poem have you done it? An elementary school classroom in a slum. Okay, their hunger gleamed shone in the eyes of the poor little slum children. So no one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond. And who is a vagabond? I told you earlier also, a kind of a wanderer, a person who doesn't have a permanent home, who keeps on just roaming around, who keeps on wandering around in places here and there. And you cannot imagine how sad life is for such people. It says your internet connection. Are you able to hear me? Yes. Anybody can.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
fine, because it says internet connection is unstable. Okay, life can be so sad and so dismal and so boring for such a person who just plods on, who just walks with a lot of difficulty. Plodding is when you walk with a lot of difficulty, with a lot of effort. So who plods on along the road, left to his own meditations. But one day this man had fallen into a line of thought. So one day he just started thinking. He started, he just fell into a kind of a philosophy. It entered his mind through his, while he was meditating, while he was just thinking about things which really seemed to him entertaining. He had naturally been thinking of his rat traps when suddenly he was struck by the idea that the whole world about him, the whole world with its lands and seas, its cities and villages, was nothing but a big rat trap. So this is the metaphor that I was talking about. The world is being compared to the rat trap. Okay, I told you in the beginning that there would be various metaphors here. The world has been compared to a rat trap. There would be other things also which would be compared to the rat trap when you would come across those things. So it had never existed. So this is the explanation that he gives on why he's thinking about the world as a big rat trap. He says it had never existed for any other purpose than to set baits for people. It offered riches and joys, shelter and food. heat and clothing. You know, all these things the world offered to the people, just like, I cannot read the last line. So just a minute, let me read it from the book. It offered riches and joys, shelter and food, heat and clothing, exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and hope. And as soon as anyone let himself be tempted to touch the bait, it closed in on him. So just like the rat trap closes in on the rat, here human beings have been compared to the rats, and he says the riches of the world, the comforts that the world offers, they're all like the traps, they're all like baits which is set for the people, and once you get tempted to touch them, everything comes to an end. Okay, so this is that philosophical idea that goes on into his mind one day, and he falls into this line of, this we've already done, this we've done. Let me find out. Yes, so this is the, your default speaker has changed to headphones, right? Okay. Usheen Kaur is so late, she's coming now. Okay, fine. So he says, as soon as anyone let himself be tempted to touch the bait, it closed in on him, and then everything came to an end. I hope you have followed till this much. And yes, have you followed? Malvika, you can respond since you are unmuted.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
Fine. So next paragraph is, the world had, of course, never been very kind to him. So it gave him unwanted joy. So this is unwanted, not spelled with wanted with an A, but it is with an O. So this means that unwanted means some kind of something which is very different, something which is unusual. Okay. So he says it. So it gave him unusual joy to think ill of it in this way. What does it refer to here? He's thinking ill of what? What does ill refer to here? Please raise your hands. Yes, Harshita. Harshita, yes. What does it refer to here?
The world.
Yes. So he felt very happy thinking ill about the world. And why was he happy? Because the world had never treated him kindly. The world had been very rude to him, had never been kind to him. So he felt very happy that people getting tempted towards the world's riches and comforts, and then getting trapped, and then everything coming to an end. It became a cherished pastime of his. So this became his hobby. He used to just think about it. This, it became his it became a kind of a way to pass his time, okay, during many dreary ploddings. And what are dreary? Something which is very dull, something which is very boring. To think of people he knew who had let themselves be caught in the dangerous snare. What is snare? Snare again means trap. So he felt very happy people getting trapped in this, the trap of the world's rat trap, and of others who were still circling around the bait. So he used to think of people that some are getting inside, trapped in that rat trap, and some are just moving around that trap.